Yeah, welcome to the DOJO, baby, man. Have no fear, TyKwonDoe is here, man. Listen, if you have any type of access to the internet, then you know what's about to happen in this video. First of all, I want to shout out to DOJO for making it to 200K. You know what I'm saying? We smoking that pack big, 250K on the way, $250,000. We ain't stopping till we reach the moon Saturn and we leaving the solar system. Y'all know what's going on. Let's get into this though, right? DJ Envy and wife Gia Casey discuss sex life and faking it in bed. Now already, right? I've seen clips of this on the internet. I just want to zoom into the sadness in this man's face of like, that is an empty soul. That is a man who is just preparing for the worst, right? So if you don't know what's going on, I'm gonna give you some context. DJ Envy, most popularly known nowadays for the Breakfast Club. You know, they do interviews on there. You know, obviously a radio show, all types of stuff. You could look at that. I'm not here to be a historian or anything, right? So he is a popular internet personality for that. He be on there with Charlamagne and Angela Yee. This is his wife, apparently, right? So she went on this podcast, or whatever this is, an interview, and apparently said she had been faking orgasms with him for 10 years. 10 years. But something came to my mind, though, because I had seen something a while ago, like he cheated or something like that. Bro, imagine being a cheater and your dick trash. So you just basically ruining the world at this point, bro. You ain't causing nothing but harm out here, bro. But not only that, right? She says she's been faking orgasms. But then I watched like 15 seconds into the clip, right? And watch this. Watch what she says about him being like her first and only body. Watch this.
Faking it in a real relationship. That chapter is about the fact that we got together so young. He was my first. He was my only. And
bro, you know how trash dick gotta be for you to be her only and first and only body, and she's like, yeah, this shit is ass. She don't even have anything to compare it to, bro. How does she know what bad dick is if she never even? But wait.
And I was very inexperienced aside from sex. You know, before him, the furthest that I'd ever gotten was second base.
Yeah.
You know, before him went up my shirt, and I thought that was a big deal. So we were both.
Yo, listen. I'm a very secure man. I don't think you could pay me no amount of money to sit next to my wife and had this conversation on camera. You couldn't. You just couldn't, bro. I'm not dying with this on my gravestone. You feel what I'm saying? Like this is permanent. Like this is out here forever, bro. I bet you he'd be 95 regretting that he did this interview, bro.
Turtles in our relationship. We waited to have sex till our 1-year anniversary. And
who's we? We waited. Y'all know what that we really means? You know what that we means? I made him wait. That's what that means.
He made it very special and, you know, romantic. But we were two kids that, you know, didn't really know what we were doing exactly. But we had fun.
But just looking at his face, he's not
most
fucking
young
with this
girls,
dog.
and even many women, I'm sure so many women can relate, but you don't know how to achieve an orgasm.
Yeah.
A lot of women have no idea what it feels like to have an orgasm through sexual intercourse. You know, they know how to do it themselves or they know how to do it through oral sex, but through sexual intercourse, a lot of women just don't know. Now, if you don't know, how do you expect your man to know?
Mm-hmm.
I especially didn't know. So we would be...
You know what's crazy? You know what I can respect about actually watching some of the clip now? She kind of taking some accountability for this too. Like I would have thought it was just about to be, oh yeah, he didn't know how to do this, he didn't know how to do that. Jada Pinkett, Will Smith, You know what I'm saying? Like some other couples out here, Jada Pinkett and Will Smith. Like some other couples out here that, you know, put their marriage on blast, and it's kind of like a point fingers kind of marriage and dynamic when we see these interviews where she really saying that, you know, being as though he was my first and all that, I didn't really know myself and my own sexuality, what I like and don't like. But at the end of the day, this is the thing though. If that's your man, right? As for any ladies or any men watching this, if you're with a girl, right, it is your job. There's no way you're not exploring her edge. You listen. I'm gonna give y'all some spill right here. Man or woman, your partner. See, you have what they've been doing normally, right? And then you have what they can do with you. It's not even on the fucking scale. It should be so free that she looks to explore her fantasies with you. Now, I have a predominantly male audience, which is why I'm saying she, right? Because I'm assuming that I'm talking to a person who likes women. But if you're a woman, it's the same thing. It's what your partner has been allowed to be safe to do. Because y'all gotta understand, even with sex, even if a woman is, you and a woman is having sex, or you the other person is having sex, there's still something like this called sexual trust, right? And there's a certain amount of vulnerability and openness that your partner can still share with you beyond having physical, you know, intercourse. And then at that point, guess what? Now, mind you, this is something that you have to do intentionally. Now, beyond that point of, okay, we're having sex, is how do we want to have sex? What do we want to try? What are we comfortable doing, trying, and exploring and finding out? But you have to intentionally do this because it's not just going to happen. Unless you got a woman who is a demon. She bold enough to take the initiatives and go to lengths. But if you're an insecure man, a shy man, a scared man, you most likely won't even be able to do that because you just don't have the self-esteem and confidence enough to explore your own fantasies, to explore your own edge and go beyond your own comfort zone. So you damn sure can't do it for another person. But I'm just making this point to say that it doesn't make sense to me how in 10 years they have been having the same sex. Even if they tried things like threesomes and putting other people in, you still need to have that open, clear communication of, okay, I'm figuring you out. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I can tell you like this. I can tell this angle be doing it for you. I can tell this. Or you can even ask. You know what I'm saying? Be open up to ask. What do you like? What you want to try more? Is anything you don't like? Anything that makes you comfortable or uncomfortable? And then you start to build that sexual trust to now you two have the confidence to tell each other things. That's all it's about in the long run. Let's say I imagine, you know, he was with her first couple times or first year, technically two, because he waited a year, right? That you having sex with her and that they don't have that much trust and they don't have that much real level of vulnerability and openness with each other. Okay, fine. 10 years and in marriage? What?
Be intimate, and he would be putting his best foot forward. Like, he is in the business of satisfying, just all around.
All right.
Just no. I'm talking about your mentality overall.
Just
like,
all around.
Just not sexually.
Life, like, he lives to make me happy, and he puts his best foot forward in that realm. So I would see him.
Now here comes the sandwich compliment. The good, the bad, and then the good again. I feel it coming.
Trying and
People, how long he didn't even smile for more than 5 seconds before he fixed his face, cause he knew this shit about to get sad, and like he just know it's coming, yo. Look at his face.
Business of satisfying, just all around.
All right.
Just no. I'm talking about your mentality.
I'm literally count. I'm gonna count.
Business of
I'm gonna count.
satisfying, just all around.
All right.
Just
Three.
no.
2.
I'm
Three,
talking about your
4.
mentality.
He smiled.
overall.
He smiled for 4 seconds.
Just
Like,
all around.
just in life, like, he lives to make me happy, and he puts his best foot forward in that realm. So I would see him trying and really going to work, and I'm sure so many women can relate. Like, you want to reward that man for that work. And the only reward that you have to offer is an orgasm. But even if I didn't feel it, I would still be performative. So yes, I was faking it. But once you start, how do you stop? How do you climb back out of that rabbit hole? You can't really have a conversation about it now. So
Catch this. How do you climb back out of that rabbit hole? You can't have a conversation with it now. Realize this. For her to be conscious that she was faking it and conscious that she didn't really have a way out now that she started faking it, this whole rabbit hole analogy that she's using, this shows you what? What does this show you? I'll give you all about 3 Dora to Explorer seconds to figure this out. That she wanted to talk about it. She wanted to get out of this rabbit hole. She wanted things to change and improve. And listen, the simple answer. All it would have took was direct communication. That's all. Like, hey, you know what? I don't know his real name. Like, just imagine I'm her, right? You're like, hey, DJ MV, can we talk? I have been faking orgasms. I haven't really been enjoying it. Can we talk about things that will, make our sex lives better and, maybe make it to where, I don't want to fake it. I'm sorry that I've been faking. Like, whatever. All she would have had to do was directly address the elephant in the room, or AKA in her guts. And then we might have gotten somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But it just also shows that from her relationship to him as a man and an individual, the amount of sexual trust or vulnerability that she was even comfortable having in the relationship. If I'm not going to sit here and say that every topic is easier to talk about than the next. I think that if something was bothering her in a relationship, she might have easily brought it up or talked about it. But when it comes to the sex life, she may have already known that, people, especially men, tend to have egos when it comes to sex. Oh, I got good dick. But let me tell you something. Good dick and great sex are 2 different things. Because you don't realize the sex even starts before you put your dick into her. But sex even starts before you even touch her. Y'all gotta know how women work. Y'all gotta know how women are wired, my nigga. They be reading stories and fucking Wattpad stories and 50 Shades of Grey and shit like that. They real mental and emotional and on that connection. So y'all gotta know how to deal with them in order to know that by the time it comes to the orgasm, it's not even something that you make her have. It's something that she lets go. You know what I'm saying? So listen, but she has to be comfortable enough to let it go. But that's a whole nother topic for itself. If you want more in-depth stuff on that, get into the Patreon, get into Twitch. We might talk about it randomly on my other apps. But to be focused on this video, just notice that lack of comfort and security she had to bring it up, knowing that she did want to bring it up. Which is sad to me because it's like, damn, how long did you have this on your mind and you feel like you couldn't even talk about it?
Actually did it to myself. But what's more important is the fact that it had nothing to do with him. Right. He was doing everything that a man could do to please a woman. The problem was that I didn't know my own body. And
you couldn't communicate what exactly you wanted.
Exactly.
Great way to take the blame. A great way to take the blame, Gia Casey.
Exactly. I had to learn that first. And what the problem was, I was so busy performing and putting on a show that I didn't take the time to be pleased. I didn't take the time to enjoy it because that wasn't my priority.
To be authentic.
My priority was him. And that comes from a place where, ever since we're young, we're sold these false narratives that women are sex objects. Women are here for the pleasing of men. Women are toys. You see it on...
Oh my God, corny, lame, boo, tomato, I'm throwing tomatoes.
Oh my God, here we go.
Billboard ads. You see it on the cover of books. You see it in, car magazines. You see it everywhere.
Listen, right. Listen, you know why this is corny to me? What's your point? She does a really good job at fluffing shit. What's your point? Let's get to your point.
See women draped across something,
come on, Gia Casey.
Advertising something. So we're kind of subconsciously led to believe those things. And for me, this is how it played out in my life.
And everything is...
Listen, by all means, I love thinking deeply on things, right? I like that she took the accountability to say that because I was faking it, I was already preventing myself from even having an authentic orgasm because I wasn't accepting myself for who I am and what my body likes and what I like to do and what I like to try and how to please myself and how to bring that into a relationship. Right, okay, fine. But why don't we just go on a whole tangent about billboards and society's expectations of women and sex to why you're not having an orgasm? The line you're trying to connect, we're not talking about. See, she's basically trying to say that that's the impact that it had on her, and that's how it manifested itself in her life. Gia Casey, you still gotta hit the nail. You still gotta hit the
It's all
point.
good there now, right?
Even though that sounds like the point, she's just talking
I figured out
around.
my problems.
Hurt my heart though. I ain't gonna lie. I hurt my heart. I might have cried a couple of times, but it helped our relationship even better.
But on a more serious note,
In reality, that's the truth.
Oh my God, corny, lame, boo, tomato. I'm throwing tomato.
I ain't gonna lie, I gotta laugh at him one time. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. All right, listen, but on some real shit though, that probably was the best moment for their relationship that they ever had, is acknowledging the elephant in the room, taking the bull by the horns. You know what I'm saying? So that's the main thing I can respect about everything I've seen so far.
me doing that was very, very detrimental, and it put into effect the fall of a series of dominoes that hurt our relationship in the absolute worst way. It was actually
lying
one
and
of the
that faking.
reasons why he cheated.
Mm. So do you feel like, so how did that conversation even come about? Like, Emmy, were you like, am I not performing enough? Or were you at some point like,
That's
you're
a good
not
question. How did that come up?
performing enough? Or like, how did that come about?
One night we were in bed and we were having sex, and she was just, I remember in the middle of it, she was like, yes, but no. And I'm like, yeah, yes, but no what?
Something like that.
Yes, but no what? And she was like, we got into like a argument, and then she was like, well, I don't be having an orgasm. She didn't say it in that. She speaks way more eloquent than I would have. And I was like, what? And she was like, I don't. I'm like, no, yes, you do. I hear it. Like, yeah, and then she was like, no, I'm faking it. I'm like, every time? And she was like, yeah. And then that just crushed me because I thought I was putting in work. Like, I'm sitting there thinking I'm, Big Daddy Long Leg, you know what I mean? Like, and she's sitting there like, no, not at all. So it really hurt my heart. Like, it hurt me because for that time, I thought I was pleasing my wife. I thought I was pleasing, You hear all these stories of women talking about their girlfriend. Oh, girl, he was so
I'm gonna stop right here. It's worse than I thought. Yo. You just know, do y'all know what just made that so bad to me? The fact that they, not that they found out in a mature conversation of, hey, I have something to tell you. Like, coming from her. Hey, I have something to tell you. He's like, yeah, what's up? You can talk to me. And then she goes, well, I've been faking orgasms. It didn't come up about that, like, in that manner. It didn't come up in a controlled, calm conversation. It came up in an argument. They was arguing, and out of nowhere, she just go, I've been faking an orgasm, right? Every time, all the time. And then the best thing he got to say is, no, you haven't. Oh my fucking God. Oh my
God.
Boy, ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no way.
Yo, women, why are y'all like this? Why when we arguing, you gotta bring up my dead cousin, aunt, uncle's dog's nephew? Why when we arguing, you gotta hit you? Women don't know how to argue, yo. Y'all don't know how to, like, roast. Y'all, like, you'll be roasting with a girl, like, look at your fat ass nose. And next thing you know, she be like, well, your grandmom dead. Like, what's wrong with y'all? I mean, thank God, because, like, that's how they ended up having the conversation. But damn, she had to hit him at his lowest point. You never made me orgasm, right? Damn. Mid-argument, though, I ain't gonna lie. He lost. He lost that argument. I don't even need to hear anybody's points, anybody's debate inside. He lost that argument.
Sure, the old girl.
There's no coming back from that one, bro.
He ain't doing nothing, and I feel like they laughing. Now I feel like that's what my wife was doing.
Yeah. Yeah, but the way that it came out, we had gotten
She over there putting up Denzel Washington type performance.
an argument.
10 years?
And
He ain't catch you once?
when I was trying to resolve the argument,
Oh my
he
God.
tried to slap the Band-Aid of sex over it. And he had done that so many times before. Like, let me just give us some.
You know that
Yeah,
conversation.
Let me just give us some.
Take this D and shut up. You know that.
I actually think that's the most toxic. A lot of people love like makeup sex, and in my opinion, I feel like it's the most toxic thing ever. And that's
Oof. And then she tell you she never enjoyed it.
And we had quite a bit of makeup sex.
Yeah.
And I was over it that day. So I'm like, we didn't even get to the bottom of it.
You know what just came to my mind though? Why? What's up with these couples and these public, like, these open the doors into my life? What's going on? Is it something about 2022? It's up Jada Pinkett and Will Smith, who've been doing this for a long time. Is it something about 2022 that just got the couples just coming outside or something? Like, what is going on to where we're getting all this information we didn't ask for?
Yeah, you got to talk about it, and then you can make up with
Yes,
the
you have to get
sex,
to a
but you
point
can't
of
make up with the sex
understanding.
first. Right.
Then you can have happy makeup sex. But I was having disgruntled makeup sex. And I'm laying there and I'm thinking to myself, like, and then it just came out. So what I did, which was wrong, was I weaponized it. There was a time and place for me to communicate how I had felt. There was a way in which to do it.
I like how
and
woke
that
she is
not
about
the
it.
decision that I made. I did it.
I like how woke she
I
is
did
about
it to
it.
spite him, and it made our relationship that much more toxic. Because now I have a husband with a bruised ego who's looking at me as a wife who's a liar, and who not only lied but lied to him for years. And in the most delicate part,
Jada Pinkett could never, bro. Jada Pinkett could never.
How long had you guys been together when you had that conversation?
At that point, I think we were married for. We're in this
That
house
was our Kittle house.
year-
It was the other house.
It was the other house. It was
Yeah.
when we were on a lease.
Yep.
16, 17, maybe 17 years ago. So we were probably 10 or 11 years into our marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you remember where the bedroom,
Yeah, I
that
just
we
remember the
sat there
bedroom
and
in the
had
house.
the conversation. It was the house prior to the one that we're living in now. So yeah, no, it was a long time ago. But let me tell you something. It had years of consequences.
Oh my goodness, that's a long time. That's definitely a long time. But you could clearly see the work that you guys have done with your responses and your self-awareness and the parts you each played to get to where you are today. There's not a lot of pointing fingers, which I love. So I love that for you guys. Love the Black love come through.
Thank you.
Baby.
Yes, and you guys also talk about questions to ask yourself before marriage, and you give, I think, about 25 questions to ask yourself. For each of you, what would you say is the most important question to ask yourself before marriage for the people watching?
I don't know if I did enough roasting yet, cause y'all know I like to get deep and mix in with my content and my natural flow, my sense of humor, and then the deep seriousness that I like to have in my videos. I honestly don't know which one to choose right now, cause this shit is funny as fuck, but at the same time, there's a very strong point to be made here about just being real at all times, keeping it real. And what you can expect to get from that, and that when you fake, when you lie, when you hide from the other side of yourself, y'all need to remember this: intimacy. Into me I see. Y'all need to realize that this comes for you to be intimate with another person and to go farther than you ever gone before, and to take them past their edge and to bring their fantasies to life, the desires, and give them that sort of climax that they never had before. You have to be able to do that for yourself. So because she couldn't, she wasn't, whatever word I want to use, founded in herself, in her root of her ego and her confidence, and same thing for him, even the way that he took that. Because that could have been a moment, obviously that would hurt any man. They just hear, you never made me orgasm. She weaponized it. She tried to spite him and throw it in his face. But at the same time, that could have been a moment that hopefully, as it seems, could have been a moment of growth and reflection for him. Okay, so why did you feel the need that you needed to lie about that? What can I do to make you feel moving forward that you know that you don't have to lie with a man like me? You could tell me what it is and what it isn't, because that's what I'm going to do for you. You understand what I'm saying? But if you ain't that kind of man that tells her what it is and what it isn't, the ugly truth, the pretty truth, the good story, the bad story, then you can never expect to get that in return. If you want some lying, some finessing, some sneaky, some slime and shit. And it's bigger than the orgasm. The orgasm is just an aspect of how they weren't really truly being authentic with each other, even though they've been together for so many years, which is interesting to me because, damn. But in reality, this is why from stuff like this is not entertainment and just views to me. I like to direct this at the viewer and say, ask yourself in your life, who are you lying to and why? What mask are you putting on when you go out in the world? And what part of you is telling yourself you need to do that? And would the cost and what it's costing you versus what it's saving you, is it worth the trade-off? Because imagine that when she wasn't telling him the truth, like, hey, I'm not having orgasms, something between us sexually needs to improve, or we need to go deeper, or whatever, right? That saved her that awkward conversation, that openness and that vulnerability and that sort of really that sort of awkward, tough truth, right? But it cost her the authenticity of her relationship. It cost her the potential of even having a real orgasm. It cost her her own integrity, honestly, because now you just 10 years. Bro, I've never known somebody had the same. She been acting longer than fucking Robert Downey Jr. been Iron Man. I mean, I don't know how long he been Iron Man when he was Iron Man, but I'm pretty sure it's over like 10 years, bro. Damn. 10 years. That's a long time to be putting on a fake. You know what I'm saying? She need her Oscar, bro. She needs her Oscar. So at the end of the day, Dojo to the moon to Saturn, and we're leaving the solar system no limits when you know we exist. Make sure you're tapped into the Twitch, the Instagram, the Twitter, the Patreon, all of the above, man. We out of here, gang.